company creating their own residency program. That's about the most disturbing thing I've heard in this conversation today.
And that really is.
It was bad enough when you saw, the younger residents, et cetera, coming up and watching them interview patients with their back to the patient as they're entering in,
I remember
in EMRs and, copying and pasting. But this is taking that to a whole new level. It's like, good Lord.
Well,
Randy,
you want to get Natalie started. Talk about the middle management, the folks going through and claiming, that I'm doctor this
geez.
or.
No. Am I yelling? Am I yelling right now?
I'm sorry. I wanted to throw that out. Just
you're talking about, don't throw that out there, please. I'm not trying to have a stroke right now.
No, it's too early in your day.
I knew that would stir the pot.
So here's one of the things, Randy, look, I totally respect your opinion, and you may be right, but my big concern down the road, what happens if we get this one payer or this one entity that manages everything, and it's an abject failure, and it just sucks? We're stuck with it.
Right.
It's not going away. And how do we get out of it if it really turns out to be a real crash and burn?
You're absolutely right about that, Des. And all I can say to that is you hope you build a thing like that in a way that you can continue to improve it. But if you think the system that we've got right now is ever going to get better like it is,
it's gotten progressively worse.
And like you said, I think the
definition of stupidity is to keep doing something that's biting you in the ass and thinking that you're going to get a different result.
And I think, don't you think we have to be down the road, and like we've all say, the three of us won't be here, but the physicians are going to have to be part of that solution. There's going to have to be some younger people that are so driven that it'll happen, but I don't know. It'll take.
It'll have to be a political solution, and my only hope is that democracy really is a good idea, and we will someday have politicians that will not put the money in their pocket and say, yes, I'll do what you ask me to do. They'll do the right thing, and I know that I'm not going to live long enough to see that, but I think that is our only hope.
I'd see one of the causes for optimism is that even though the kids coming up get slammed regularly for being whatever it is, slackers or whatever, there's also the X generation or this group of young people coming up are so much more in tune into altruism and social causes and that sort of thing that I think they have a sense of responsibility towards a greater good that maybe when we were all coming up, we had those values were instilled on a personal level, but you didn't see the widespread attitude like, no, we want to be involved in some type of cause or something. And so I don't see, the healthcare system could be part of all that as future generations are coming up, but
I agree with you. I mean, if you follow the trends like on Reddit, where a lot of the millennials and younger people are, you see that type of mindset, and I feel hopeful about that. I've given up on my generation who kind of contributed to this issue, and having enough money wasn't enough. It became abject greed. And that's where we're at. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing. It wasn't enough to just make a lot of money, which they were already making. And as you know, with the pandemic, a lot of insurance companies have made a killing, pardon the pun, and financially. And then did you recently see when United Health said that they were going to start this policy for patients who came to the ER, and if it was determined afterwards that what they had was not an emergency, they were not going to reimburse for that ER visit. Yep. Okay, and so we're like, well, that I felt that that's designed to prevent people from coming to the ER. Let them die at home. A dead person costs nothing.
That's
and,
right.
And it was an incentive to make them, because people are fearful. And I said, why did we keep paying into this system? And I want to touch on what you said when you said, how do we get out of a system if we go into the single payer and we can't, and it's a mess? Well, we're in a mess, and look how many people still keep paying into it, right? Because it's all they know, and they're
That's what they
afraid to
know.
let go of it because they're like, well, if I have nothing, I'm fearful. And I said, but you have nothing now. I mean, I had deductibles back in the day where you would have a deductible of like 500 or 1,000. Now you have a 13,000.
Exactly.
You know, that's like ridiculous. You're paying.
It is. No, and that's a great point. That's a valid
Mhm.
point. It's out, you know, you can't really argue with that.